the leaders who have become good at that, right? What kinds of things do they do, and what should the Gen Z keep in mind? In other words, this is more longitudinal, but what have you seen? What's worked?
There's an expression I use that I think about, how can I make that other person a hero? There's no loss to me. What can I do to elevate that person so the person I'm negotiating with feels good about what's happening in working with me, negotiating with me, and that when they walk away from the table, that they're satisfied with what they have and what they're able to achieve, and that the relationship is there. In today's world, because there's so much mobility, you never know where you're gonna meet that person again. I've had people recycle in my life because they're over here, and then suddenly 10 years later, they come over there, and I'm working with them. Sometimes when I would take the subway to go someplace, even on an airplane, I'm thinking, is that gonna be the client that I'm going to? Because I haven't met everybody there. How do I behave? How do I compose myself here in these different ways? So there's always an opportunity to develop a relationship, and those are meaningful relationships that you carry with you for life. If you are not able to work something out with somebody because their particular behavior is irritating to you or it's your pet peeve, if you don't work it out with them, that behavior is going to come back in somebody else and you're always going to have to deal with it. So I said, you might as well deal with it early on and figure out how to get there. So the more you know yourself, the more you understand your triggers, the more you understand what irritates you, then the more you're able to work with somebody. There are some people who just naturally trust until you break it, and some people who don't trust until you earn it. So trust is really, really critical in a negotiation. And I think that's what good leaders are able to have, is that they can trust their instincts, they trust themselves, they trust their judgment, and they have to figure out, am I willing to trust this other person? And so if a person is trustworthy, they're able to go much further. So you have to have a level of authenticity when you are negotiating, because that creates trust. And if you break the trust, it's really hard to earn that trust back.